where you should get your facts. News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRUSH Hour. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRUSH Hour.
Well, you heard the latest in the news about State Senator Nicole Mitchell on trial. I've had a little bit of time today to listen to her testimony, and my goodness. You know, what a mess. Welcome to Drive Time. It's Jason. Dan Cook is off again today. Josh Wheeler is with us. I'm struck listening to this trial that, first of all, quite a bit of what State Senator Nicole Mitchell is saying as to what she was doing in her stepmother's house, to me, feels like nonsense. It is very difficult to get your arms around the facts of that. Where on body cam video, she's saying she was in her stepmother's house to take some stuff from her late father. And then, not long ago, she says, no, I wasn't going to take anything. Susie's back in here.
Real briefly, Nicole Mitchell now is being cross-examined by prosecutors.
So this is so finally, after being on the stand all day, she started just before 10 this morning, about 5 hours. Well, you take out a lunch break, about 3.5 hours of testimony. But now the tough questions.
Tough questions.
All right.
Talking right now about a letter that was found, a piece of paper that was found inside her backpack.
Okay.
Really getting picked apart by
we can actually dip into a little of this if you'd like, Josh. If you want to fire up my computer, I have the live feed from the court, and it's a delayed feed. This is the fundamental question. Why did she say in the body cam video that she would? All right, so we could lower this down a little bit, Josh. This is Senator Nicole Mitchell on cross-examination right now saying that what she said in the police body camera video in the moment, and she was there to take some of her late father's stuff. Now she's trying to put that toothpaste back in the tube and say, like, no, I was just trying to diffuse it and figure, like, hey, this is a family matter. It would all go away. Today, she's saying that she had no intention of taking anything, that she was there. She used the term welfare check, which is sort of a term that you hear from police when you're checking on a loved one. I have all of the feelings on this issue, right? That her personal story is really sad and gripping. And I'm so empathetic for any family and anyone who is working through a family member who is dealing with dementia or Alzheimer's. And it's even harder when you have strife in the relationship. And Senator Mitchell testified today about the fact that her stepmother wanted to kind of have a funeral with the ashes of Nicole Mitchell's dad. And she wasn't going to be able to go because she would be at the Capitol. And your heart sort of breaks for that. And you think like, oh my gosh, like there's got to be a way to work this out. I guess I'm left with the fact that this is, and yes, it's a felony, and yes, it has a maximum charge of 20 years, but let's cut the crap for a minute and be real. This is small potato. This is a very minor criminal offense. And she could have made the whole thing go away. I'm convinced of this. If she would have stepped down, taken responsibility, said, I shouldn't have done this. I was out of my mind and I was wrong. And would there have been a court case? I would be on this radio station right now urging the prosecutors to use discretion and let this go. Because society is not served by sending Nicole Mitchell to jail or to prison or convicting her of a felony for this. She's of no danger to society. She has had her personal tragedy bared for all of us. I think the best outcome of this would have been for it to go away. But the reason it isn't going away is because she refused to accept responsibility. And even today in court, to be saying, well, I didn't take anything, I didn't have anything, it just defies any sort of reasonable credibility. And frankly, man, it sucks if it's true, right? Because maybe it is true. And also, this never had to happen. It never had to happen. So many crazy decisions made in the middle of the night. Play, Josh, we pulled a little soundbite of Senator Mitchell. And you're welcome to chime in if you've been following this. My belief is that we are not served by locking up Nicole Mitchell. Frankly, we're not served by having a felony on her record. And also, she made this happen. She made this go to court. She made this drag on for more than a year. 651-461-9226. Here is her attorney asking, all right, did you steal anything? Did you intend to steal anything? Because to me, the biggest question, like, yes, she clearly broke in. She admitted on the stand trespassing. But that's not the charge. The charge is burglary. The charge is having kind of the tools of burglary, meaning a crowbar. To me, it's pretty weak sauce because it was caught in progress. And so what did she really have? Here is her attorney asking, again, a senator who could have made all of this go away. All of it. And yeah, is it hard to confess and is it hard to give up your seat in the Senate? Yes. Is it unfortunate? You made the choice. You made the choice to get in that car, drive 200 miles, drive 3 hours up to Detroit Lakes in the middle of the night. You made the choice. Sometimes in life, we make one choice that is really bad. You got to pay. I don't think she should pay with jail time. I don't even think she should pay. Well, I don't think she should have paid with a conviction. Here's what she said when her attorney's like, well, did you take anything? Did you intend to take something?
Did you take anything from Carol Mitchell's house that night?
No.
Did you take anything of your father's that night?
No.
Did you take anything of Carol Mitchell's that night?
No.
Did you go into Carol Mitchell's house looking for any of your dad's possessions or mementos?
No.
Did you go into the house looking for anything of your father's or of Carol Mitchell's specifically?
No.
And if you wanted to take anything of your father's or Carol Mitchell's, could you have?
I wouldn't take something.
But if you wanted to?
Yes.
Explain why that is.
Because Dad's area was in the basement.
I mean, 0% believable to me. Mm-hmm. If she would have testified and said, yeah, for a year, she said she was asking her stepmother for her late father's, for some clothing to give to her kid. If she would have said, yep, I was there to get the photo album and some clothing, And I don't know what I was thinking. I was out of my mind with grief, and I'm sorry. Well, now a jury has to sort of figure it out. Text coming in. Unbelievable text coming. Unbelievable. I can't wait to share the way some of you guys are interpreting what I just said. And we'll do that. I'll give you a hint. You're a bleeding heart liberal. Let the criminals run free. To which I would respond, yes, in just a minute on Drive Time.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jason here for my friend Chris Lindahl. I love telling the Chris Lindahl story because Chris Lindahl is a great guy. And right now, if you have the need for speed, the need to get out of a piece of real estate that you just don't want to mess with anymore, Chris Lindahl is your guy. We know that uncertainty is the new normal when it comes to the real estate market. We know interest rates are all over the place. And we also know that right now more people are saying yes to the guaranteed cash offer from Chris Lindahl than ever before. And I understand it. I worked with Chris, with my wife, looking at houses last year. We got to see it firsthand why he's number one. So the question you have to face is, are you ready to rock? How long do you want to mess around? Do you want to mess around with somebody doing open houses in your home, dealing with, are we going to close? Well, I don't know what date. I don't know if my financing is going to be lined up. What is it worth you to not have to lift a finger and be able to focus on the next chapter of your life? The market right now is saying it's worth a lot, and they're saying, yep, give me the guaranteed cash offer. Get to chrislindahl.com. Get your guaranteed cash offer today, and then you pick your closing date, and then you start packing. chrislindahl.com. Terms and conditions may apply.
Chad back here with you on CCO. Once again, proud to discuss Aquarius Home Services. Track them down, AquariusHomeservices.com. Yes, I love my Connecticut drinking water system. The whole family uses it on a regular basis, but they're a one-stop shop. If you have challenges, electrical, air conditioning, plumbing and drains, they will get it done. I love them. I've trusted them since the early 90s. You track them down, AquariusHomeservices.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
When you're in pain, you need the Good Feet store. Do not waste another minute suffering from foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call for the Good Feet store for your no-obligation custom fitting. You will immediately feel the difference.
I walked right into the Good Feet store and I tried the Good Feet arch support system, and my hip pain is gone, went away.
The Good Feet arch support system are designed to put your foot in the most ideal position, redistributing the body weight more evenly, helping to relieve pain and stress in the body.
That nagging pain in my lower back, gone.
Good Feet store has over 350 styles and sizes to relieve your pain. Call for your personal fitting.
I've always had bad knees. I've had 6 surgeries and I could never do a knee bend. Now I can do a knee bend. I'm working out and it's just wonderful.
Call 855-554-3338. Step into pain relief.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Construction problems come with challenges, but legal issues shouldn't be one of them. At Helmuth & Johnson, we focus on construction law, protecting contractors, developers, and business owners from costly disputes. From contract negotiations to litigation and compliance, we make sure your projects stay on track and your interests stay protected. Whether it's a delay, a dispute, or a deal, we've got you covered. Visit hjlawfirm.com. That's hjlawfirm.com. Helmuth & Johnson, on your side, at your side.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy. And from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH.
Oh, so there's a little bit of dark humor involved too?
Oh, yeah, a lot of it, in fact.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, Nicole Mitchell, the state senator, is on the stand telling her story. I find what I've heard hard to believe. Cross-examination. I had said before that cross-examination was underway. It was not. That was still her defense attorney asking her. The cross is underway soon. Court is in a bit of a break. We'll see at 3:25 if they actually want to do cross-examination today or if they'll do it tomorrow. I would think if I were the prosecution, I would want to do the cross-exam today. My assertion is that it does not serve society to have her locked up. And this is her fault for going down this road and having a court case. We would not have a court case, in my view, and in the view of most legal analysts that we have talked with on this show, if she would have accepted responsibility and resigned her seat in the state Senate, which is what I have said all along. Whether she was found guilty of this or not, to me, has no bearing on whether or not she should continue to be a state senator. She should not. She should have stepped down. She still should step down. Texters say that I am a crazy liberal. You're a bleeding heart liberal. Let the criminals run free, says one texter. Another texter. Oh my gosh, seriously, you're defending her? Is it because she's a Democrat? She broke into someone else's home and watched them sleep. This lady is a lunatic and needs to be put in jail. Why? Because she broke the law. I will say that this is a very strong opinion that people have when the person accused of the crime is not of the same political belief as them. I don't know. Were you guys saying this when Donald Trump was accused of concealing and hiding top secret documents from the FBI? I don't know. Interesting. There are times that judges and prosecutors make decisions out of discretion, out of humanity. Do you feel unsafe because Nicole Mitchell is out on the street? Like, give me a break. Give me a break. Jason, Nicole Mitchell should be tried and convicted of burglary and face the exact same consequences of every other first-time convicted burglar, assuming she's found guilty, no better and no worse. Don't cut her slack because she's a Dem. What is wrong with you people? Like, what is this? Like, I am having some empathy here because when you have death and tragedy in the family and you have drama and you have a family member that you're concerned about their ability to care for themselves because they're in the early phases of Alzheimer's. I don't know, man. People make bad choices. I'm saying she should suffer consequences. I also push back on this idiotic belief in our society that the only acceptable consequence for someone is lock them up. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Mark on YouTube. It's okay if your kids, when you get old, would you be okay if your kids broke in at 4 a.m. to get stuff? What is wrong with you guys? The only consequence that's acceptable is lock them up, get a conviction on your record. What does that solve? What does that accomplish? Does it give you the ability to just dismiss a situation and say, I'm done with it? Look, if you're out there with guns endangering our community, if you're a fraudster ripping people off, hell yes, throw the book at you, lock you up. But if you're in the middle of a family tragedy and you accept responsibility, step down from your elected seat, that's consequences. That's justice. That's enough. She didn't. She's in court. She did this to herself. I'm not saying the jury should not convict her. At this point, the jury should convict her. My sadness is that it got this far. It is sad that her personal mess is now a public conversation point. Didn't have to happen. Didn't have to happen. Is there a bigger picture about politicians and hubris and the lack of ability to just throw in the towel? I think so. But I don't know. This is more of a human issue to me. That it's hard when you're going through a tragedy. You knew you did something wrong, but you don't think you did something as wrong as what the narrative is, that you say, I want to clear my name. She's making it worse so far, in my view. Let's break. It's 3:30. In just a minute, we're going to talk about Minnesota's fraud problem. My goodness, it never stops. And my question is, why? Why do we have such a problem? And what are we going to do about it? Because just catching it and busting people, I don't know. I don't feel satisfied with that. Do you? We're going to talk with a Republican state representative who heads a House committee to fight fraud in this state. Kristin Robbins joins us next on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
To paraphrase a well-known insurance company, like a good neighbor, WCCO is there. Like, really there. Breaking news? You know it. Weather? Of course. Fun discussions? You betcha. Minnesota sports teams? We set the standard in being prematurely disappointed. So, yeah, we're that neighbor. And you'll love us for it, right? News Talk 830 WCCO. We're not like a good neighbor. We are the good neighbor. Talking across fences since 1924.
Storm season is here. That means nature's fury will cause damage to your roof. When it does, that's when you call Brian Jobe of Jobe Brothers Construction. Because they're local, they offer same-day, Twin City-wide emergency service. Jobe Brothers Construction will repair or replace your roof from nature's wrath. They'll also work with your insurance company to ensure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Brian and his team truly take the hassle out of a terrible situation. Working with Brian and his crew will give you peace of mind because it was done right. Just contact Jobe Brothers Construction for a no-obligation, free, and full inspection. Contact them online at jobebrothersconstruction.com. That's J-O-B-E, Jobe Brothers Construction, handling all your roofing, siding, window, and gutter needs. They'll even repair your roof from fallen trees. Jobe Brothers Construction. They get the job done right.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here, you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-355-8282. That's 800-355-8282. Again, that's 800-355-8282.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
They say no two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? Well, we thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. She is an artist and absolutely a visual learner. She's doing a deep dive into our Babbel wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Malcolm is very much a type A, say it to my face, listening learner. So he checks with Babbel's speech recognition to make sure that accent?
Precio.
Keith's a real people person and a curious learner, so he loves Babbel's Culture Bites, full of insights and native knowledge about the language he's learning. Like, what's served for Christmas dinner in Germany?
Glühwein, Weihnachtsgans und Christmasstollen.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you text radio to 64,000. That's radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Highway 95 between Minnesota 97 and 209th Street. That's up in Scandia. Traffic accident being reported. 94 eastbound between Pryor Avenue and Snelling. There's a collision, about 11-minute delay over there. Highway 5 headed west at the exit ramp of 494. The ramp is closed and there's a fender bender on the side of the road. Up in Albertville, 94 westbound at County Road 19 and County Road 18. A little bang up being reported. That's right up near that pop-up road closure on 94 in Albertville. Both directions between County Road 18 and Highway 241 are closed from 9:30 to 9:50, so we're right in the heart of it. That's a current look at the conditions. I'm Derek Haymeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
If you have trees to trim or need tree removal, call an ISA certified arborist. Call the CCO line company I use, B&M Tree Service, 1-800-569-9034, or get on the web, bnmtree.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, forecast is brought to you by B&M Tree Service. Here's Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Another chilly night tonight, not as cold as it was this morning. 57 will be the overnight low. Clouds will increase throughout the day. Scattered showers pop by evening time. 76 the high, close to that on Saturday. We should be dry, though. Mix of sun and clouds. Mix of sun and clouds on Sunday as well, creeping up to the low 80s.
Right now, it's beautiful. I think it's a DeRUSH delight day. We should proclaim it. Mostly sunny, 72 on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH.
3 hours.
No, thanks.
3 hours.
That's too long. 3 hours?
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, new challenge for the state of Minnesota. Can we go 1 week without a new headline about a massive scheme to defraud our state and our taxpayers? That would be nice. We reported all yesterday about the 8 locations all throughout the metro area where the U.S. attorney and federal agents were out raiding as part of the Fed's quote was massive scheme to defraud Minnesota's Housing Stabilization Services Program. When I hear all of this, obviously I want the people who are defrauding us to be punished, but I'm really interested in how do we prevent this on the front end? We're pretty good at catching fraudsters. Now, what if we didn't have so much fraud? That would be nice. State Representative Kristin Robbins is a Republican. She has been really out in front on this effort to try to fraud-proof as much as you can our state, and she joins us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Representative Robbins, good to talk you with us.
Thanks for having me.
So why do you think this is? Why has there have been kind of story after story about fraud here in Minnesota?
I think because we're shining a spotlight on it, and as we learn more about different fraud cases and we work with our federal partners and the public becomes more aware of it, it's just been snowballing. And I do think Feeding Our Future opened our eyes to a lot of fraud in a lot of other areas. And so I think we're really at the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, I mean, that's my hope and my fear, right? Like part of the fact that we've maybe gotten over this idea that we're somehow special and we're not scammers like, those dirty Chicago politicians or those scammers in New York or whatever. We've seen that we've got a problem. The acting U.S. attorney said Minnesota has a fraud problem and not a small one. So what do we do about it? Do we need to fund like more auditors on the front end? Do we need to slow things down on the front end? Is there a cultural issue in our state agencies where we're too trusting? Where are you at on all of this?
So I think it's all of the above. So first of all, we do need to change the culture of fraud. And part of that is holding agencies accountable. No one has been fired for any of the fraud we have seen in any of the agencies. And that's unacceptable. The public wants accountability from state government, and we are not getting it currently. Secondly, I think we need to do more to make sure internal controls are being followed. The basic processes that if a private company didn't follow grant closeout procedures or check billing practices or what have you, they would be in serious trouble. And so we can't, in order to catch it on the front end, we have to see what programs are having enormous increases in eligibility. What programs are having enormous increases in the number of providers. Those are red flags. And apparently they've been missed. So, I mean, the fact that 22 of these housing providers are in the same building. And that didn't set off any alarm bells at DHS.
Right,
I mean, so we need to really hold agencies accountable. We need to tighten these internal controls. Things have been flagged and nobody's caught them.
State Senator Kristin Robbins is with us. She is a Republican, heads up the House committee that is looking at fraud and looking at ways that we can prevent fraud and have better oversight. I mean, you mentioned the 22 providers in the same office building. I don't know. It seems to me, and maybe the way that we have these applications coming in, we could be doing this in a better way where you have somebody in charge of a specific grant, so that might get noticed, or you set up, are there AI or technological ways that we can have this better? I sure would think so. But even beyond that, I mean, some of this to me where you say with this housing program, the estimate for it when it was created, we're the first state to do it. Of course, we're the first state, which sometimes I'm like, do we have to be the first? Let's let somebody else start giving away money first. But okay, we're the first state to do it. The estimate, it was going to be $2.6 million a year. And then when you're paying out more than $100 million, how does somebody at about, I don't know, 25, 30, $40 million say like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Exactly. No. So the signs are there, and it's true in these other areas. So what we found is there's a business model of fraud, and that a lot of the fraud is concentrated in these areas where Medicaid has expanded beyond the traditional healthcare services. And those program areas are where we're seeing a lot of the fraud. And so, as you said, this ticked up since 2020 from 2.6 million to over 100 million. In the autism centers, we were, again, one of the first, started in 2017, 1.2 million, and it went to 228 million last year.
Yeah.
It's the same pattern, and we have got to start recognizing it, and we've got to intervene early.
KARE 11 did a story on one of these providers in May, and it was AJ Legault, their investigative reporter. I want to play just a little clip of that right now.
Computers, documents, boxes of evidence seized. including more than $100,000 in cash. The now unsealed search warrant details an investigation into a massive scheme to defraud the Housing Stabilization Services Program by taking advantage of the housing and drug addiction crises. It cites that expose companies like Brilliant Minds billing Medicaid for services clients say they never received.
100% scam.
Among the companies targeted were Pristine Health, that billed thousands of dollars claiming to help Ben and Haley Gutowski find housing, but never even met with them in person, leaving their family homeless.
They just billed us for nothing.
I mean, and that was in May, and obviously it takes a little time for the feds to get the case together. So here they are serving search warrants on that this week.
Right.
But you look at this and think, all right, your point, I think, is excellent, that we're looking at, you know, the fraudsters know what they're doing. These are programs where for sure there is a need, right? There is a need for autism services. There is a need to help the elderly and people with disabilities find and maintain housing. And for sure, like, there's a big need. There probably is $100 million worth of need in this area. So being able to catch it and being able to flag it in a way, I understand it's tricky. It's not as easy as me saying, like, well, come on, like, why can't you figure this out? But, like, I don't know, Care 11 figured it out. Is it that tricky, Kristin?
Well, I'm not sure it is, especially inside the agencies where they have access to the data. So I can't look at the SWIFT payment system in the state and say, oh, look, their payments have spiked to this group or that group, but they can look at that, and they should be doing random samples of billing practices, like 10% of these different programs, and just checking, is somebody an outlier? Is there an enormous uptick in enrollees here? And so we have the tools, they have the data, and they just have to do a better job. And we have to have accountability, because to date, for these hundreds of millions of dollars of fraud, nobody has been fired, nobody's been held accountable, and so that allows it to continue.
Well, in fact,
we say we're not tolerating it, it's going to keep going.
They sort of, I mean, I get a little frustrated because to a certain degree, these departments are trying to take a victory lap and saying, like, well, we're the ones that told the Fed. And that's sort of the reaction that the Minnesota Housing, the Department of Human Services, which oversees this program, they're like, well, it was our auditors who called them. Well, no crap. Like, yeah, eventually you called them. But I mean, I'm not going to give you a prize for discovering that your house was on fire when it's been on fire for 3 years.
Exactly. And I do want to give credit. I think they have a new head of the Office of Inspector General who testified in our committee last week. And he comes over from the Medicaid Fraud Control Unit from the Attorney General's office. And so I do think having him in place is helpful. But that doesn't mean that, as you said, for the previous 3 years in this program, or the previous, since 2017, 9 years in the autism centers, they still had an Office of Inspector General. They still had a commissioner. The current commissioner was the former head of compliance. Like, they keep kind of moving people around on the deck chairs to different jobs. The former Inspector General who would have overseen this, she still works at the department. She just got moved to the general counsel's office.
Should we realign the role of the state auditor? I think often people are asking, where's the state auditor in this? Yeah. And my understanding is that the state auditor's charge is more about, looking at other local units of government and being a resource there. I don't know that this is really the purview of the state auditor, but it feels like it could be.
I think it could be, and it's something we should look at. I think the bill we had this session to create an Office of Inspector General to oversee the entire executive branch is probably the best interim step.
Yeah.
Because I really think that's what most other states have. And if that office had teeth, they would really be able to, subpoena these records, fire people, stop payments, catch things on the front end. And the problem is, we as the legislature, whether it's our committee or the Office of the Legislative Auditor, who has been doing audits and pointing out these same internal controls problems for decades, because we're all the legislative branch, we can't force the executive branch because of separation of powers to make decisions. So embedding an OIG to look at everything in the executive branch is the way to go. And it passed the Senate 60-7. The Democrat-controlled Senate passed this bill with huge bipartisan margins, and it failed in the House. So we've got to get that over the finish line next session.
Kristin Robbins, appreciate your time. Republican head of the Fraud Prevention and State Agency Oversight Policy Committee. Thanks for joining us today, Kristin.
Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
3,
See you
4.
at Maple Grove Day.
Yes, and Kristin's a representative of Maple Grove, as I am as well. Parade tonight. You'll be
tonight. I'll be there.
Yeah, see,
Okay,
I know it's right up the street from my house, so I'll be there too. Kristin Robbins with us here on CCO. 3:50. Back in a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, Jason here for my friends at J.H. & Sons. I was wearing my suit coat. I left my suit coat in the other room. Those of you watching on YouTube, you do not get to see the beautiful jacket from J.H. & Sons that I was wearing today. Terrible. It's a little warm in here. I took it off. I had a little fashion show I went to at lunch today. Now, I was not in it. Let's be serious. I was not in it. That is for sure. J.H. & Sons has a huge sale going on right now at their location at the Galleria in Edina, and I want you to get out there and take advantage of this massive summer sale. 50% off, up to 50% off on so many different spring and summer collections. Oh, yeah. 30% off Canali seasonal sport coats. Those are absolute knockout of a sport coat. We got 40% off seasonal shoes and 50% off short sleeve shirts, which looking at my shirt right now, it appears to have a stain on it. So we're falling apart here in studio. J.H. & Sons to the rescue is what I'm saying. Get to the Galleria. This family is awesome. The Halberstedts have been making men look amazing in Minnesota for decades. Get to the Galleria tonight, tomorrow, get there this weekend. J.H. & Sons, they're up to 50% off. Summer sale is happening right now.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or two half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-473-9933. 800-473-9933. 800-473-9933.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Traffic is brought to you by American Rare Coin and Collectibles. Find them at AmericanRareCoinandCollectibles.com. 94 eastbound between Pryor Avenue and Snelling. There's a collision, 11-minute delay over there. Highway 5 headed west at the exit ramp to 494. That ramp is closed and there's a fender bender on the side of the road. 694 headed west at Lexington and 51. Semi on the side ramp, slowing things down. Further east on 694 westbound at County Road 65 and White Bear Avenue, an 18-wheeler accident over there. Crosstown eastbound at Tracy, a vehicle crash being reported. 494 headed north between Minnetonka Boulevard and Stone is crawling along because of a fender bender. If you've inherited valuable coins, gold, silver, or jewelry, where do you turn? American Rare Coin and Collectibles. For over 30 years, American Rare Coin has been purchasing valuable coin and precious metal collections with honesty, transparency, and immediate payment. AmericanRareCoinandCollectibles.com. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Clogged gutters? Call the pros, Advantage Home Pros. With the highest quality workmanship and materials, seamless gutter installation, cleaning, and covers, our trained, knowledgeable local pros can handle it all. Trust the pros. AdvantageHomePros.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, CCO forecast brought to you by Advantage Home Pros. Low tonight, 51. Tomorrow, 75 again. Saturday, 78. Right now, it's 72 and sunny and nice on CCO.
Jason DeRUSH.
He's representing the state, everything. He should be a model citizen.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
The rematch. Scott Jensen and Tim Walz. Is that what you guys want? I don't. Not what I'm interested in. We'll talk about it, though, coming up at 4:05 after local news. Plus, we are giving away Paul McCartney tickets today. We'll play Name That Tune for your chance to win a pair of passes before you can buy them. Paul McCartney at US Bank Stadium on October 17th. Every winner so far has been awesome. So I do not want. Last year was last night it was Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Will it be you?
Yeah.
Will it be you today? PaulMcCartneyGotBack.com. Want you to stick around too. At 4:30, we're talking to the brand new CEO of Children's Minnesota Hospital. First woman to be the CEO in 100 years.
So many of us look around our house and say it is time to downsize. That's exactly what Susan and Kevin Borowick did. They join us now. I want to ask you about the process of working with the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, and your agent, Kieran Evanson.
Well, it was just extremely smooth. We sat down. He did a market analysis for us so we could really develop a good pricing strategy. He sent out a staging consultant who helped us get things ready for showing. We just couldn't be happier. We received an offer actually more than one offer, quite a bit over our asking price.
That's part of the whole Schuster Group difference, is that their marketing programs really target the right buyers. Did you feel that when they were going through the process with you?
Absolutely.
If someone is on the fence about hiring the Schuster Group, what would you tell them?
They greatly exceeded our expectations, and I would say you just cannot go wrong working with the Schuster Group.
Contact John Schuster of the John Schuster Group, 952-222-9000, online, johnschustergroup.com. Terms and conditions may apply.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The headlines, the context, the impact. News Talk 830 WCCO, 1029 HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Michael Wallace. It was a big day on Wall Street. The NASDAQ and the S&P 500 closed at record highs thanks to some strong corporate earnings and a better-than-expected reading on retail sales. They were up 0.6% in June after falling in May. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
This report, along with the strong sales from Amazon Prime Days and other retailers, shows that consumers are willing to spend, though they may be getting a little bit more price-sensitive and choosy.
The White House says the recent swelling in President Trump's legs is due to chronic venous insufficiency. Here's CBS News Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. John LaPook.
In general, this is a relatively benign condition by itself. The important thing is you want to make sure that it's not being caused by something serious. And they report that they've ruled out the more serious causes, at least the most common ones. There are some rare causes that they didn't talk about, but for now, they're saying that the president is in very good health.
The bill that would cancel $9 billion in funding for foreign aid and public broadcasting is back in the House after the Senate approved it last night. Patrick Quirk is with UNICEF, which stands to lose millions.
A huge hit for UNICEF. The $142 million eradicates core flexible funding UNICEF relies on to respond to disasters, provide nutrition support to starving children.
More lawmakers on Capitol Hill are calling for the release of more files in the Jeffrey Epstein case. Oregon Democratic Senator Ron Wyden.
There is an Epstein file down there at the Treasury Department, and it ought to be used as the foundation for a follow the money investigation.
Republican Senator Mark Wayne Mullen of Oklahoma.
This is nothing but political theater. It's so obvious that the Democrats are just using this for a political football.
Attorney General Pam Bondi took a boat ride to Alcatraz in San Francisco Bay today. President Trump has ordered the reopening of the prison, which was closed in 1963 because of its soaring costs. On X, Bondi posted it was a great visit and said, under President Trump, we are making America safe again. ICE is getting access to Medicaid records. Loyola Law School professor Lori Levinson.
This is a huge change. We haven't seen this with prior administrations, but obviously the Trump administration is key on using whatever weapons they can to address what they see as an immigration problem, even if it includes using people's Medicaid information.
Those Medicaid records do include recipients' addresses. Dow is up 229 today. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Fair skies, 71 degrees at 4:03. Good afternoon. I'm Susie Jones. Happening now.
prosecutors in Becker County are grilling Minnesota State Senator Nicole Mitchell, who was on the stand in her own defense in a felony burglary case. Mitchell has said that she broke into the home of her stepmother in Detroit Lakes because she was worried about her well-being, as the stepmother has Alzheimer's. She had claimed she was there to collect some of her late father's possessions. Becker County Attorney Brian McDonald pointing out this discrepancy.
37 and a half minutes from the time you were ordered to the ground till the time you walked into that cell. You understand that?
Yes.
0 times in 37 and a half minutes did you mention you were there out of concern for Carol Mitchell.
Mitchell also told the jury today she actually had a key of the home but broke in a window instead. Dr. Scott Jensen, whose gubernatorial campaign fell well short of beating Governor Walz in 2022, says he's once again running for the state's top office, announcing his bid on YouTube. Governor Walz, meanwhile, has yet to announce, but said the following about Jensen's announcement.
I congratulate Scott. He's, we're civically minded people, and we encourage people to run for office. And looks like he threw his hat in, and I encourage that. There looks like there's several Republicans over there going to run.
He says he will.
Congratulations! That's what I would be saying too. If
somebody scared me.
For somebody who's coming for my gig here, hosting this show, I would wish them congratulations.
Yes, you
as well.
would.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you. God, just a civic-minded person. Wouldn't it be more fun if Tim Walz? Well, I guess we're being civil now.
We are being civil.
We passed
We're trying.
We're trying to be civil. It'd be a little more fun though if you were like, you know what? I smashed that guy like a bug once. I'll do it again.
Smash it again. Of
Yeah.
course, I interviewed the governor today. I don't know if you knew that. I had a little
didn't.
one-on-one with Governor Walz, went over to the office, sat down, wore a nice dress today so that I would look gubernatorial.
Nice.
And anyway, it was interesting because, even though you're in the confines of his office and you think you might get a nugget of something new or interesting, you don't.
No.
I tried to, of course, hammer him down on when he's going to run. The only thing he did say is, candidly, he said, that's always interesting.
Oh, when you say
Susie,
candidly, here comes
since
some
you
truth.
addressed gubernatorial, are you here to announce that you also are throwing your name in that?
No, I don't. I wouldn't run for office if it was
Too many skeletons in the
Oh
closet.
my God, they would come out.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. Anyway, he said candidly he would have expected, he would have announced before
sure,
now,
yeah.
but there was enough horrible things happening in the world that he thought it not best to make some kind of grand announcement in the middle of
I think that's fair.
a time
with
of
the
Melissa
Hortman.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
I get that.
All right, I'm going to just move on. How do you feel about that?
I feel good.
Okay. Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison has pled guilty to a lesser charge of reckless driving in his DWI case. He'll be put on probation 12 months and pay a fine as well as to complete 2 online courses. He could also be suspended for several games. Some sad news to pass along out of the Minnesota Zoo. How about this?
Dari, the 13-year-old female Amur tiger, was recently humanely euthanized due to mesothelioma, an aggressive and incurable form of cancer. She was born at the zoo in 2012 and gave birth to 6 cubs, including Amalia and Andre, born on May 23, 2024. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
I'm going to do one more just for fun. Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Steve Miller has taken to social media to announce that he is canceling all upcoming shows, including this year at the Minnesota State Fair. Steve Simpson looks into this.
The reason? The threat of natural disasters, including floods and hurricanes, combined with extreme heat, which he says is putting himself, his band, and his fans at risk. The 81-year-old was to launch a 28-date tour in New Bethel, New York next month, with a stop at the Great Minnesota Get-Together on August 28th. The State Fair website now lists that concert, along with the Rascals, as canceled. Steve Simpson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
I don't think we should come to work anymore.
There's some climate changes out there. Canceling. I don't know.
Flooding, natural disaster.
Anything could happen.
Anything.
Don't leave your home. Is Steve Miller? Is that who's in the Steve Miller band? I don't really know the name. I assume.
I hope that.
Well, I don't know. You know how all these old bands, it's like the Steve Miller band featuring Larry Hartman. I don't know, just like some
also,
random.
You don't know if they're dead. This guy.
I don't know.
This guy, I think he's 85 or 4.
Well, he probably shouldn't be going out.
They were here
anyway.
at Target Field last summer. They were okay.
They were?
Or 2 summers ago.
I
Last
think
year,
80. When you're in the 80s, don't just put down your rock and roll gear. Whatever that is.
Yeah.
There you go.
Your guitar, like I used to talk about hanging up my IFB, which is like the little thing you jam in your ear
I
when
want to
you're a
know
TV
if
news
you know
anchor.
what IFB stands for.
I think it's interrupted fold back, or is it feedback?
Feedback.
All right.
I used to wear an IFB, back
in
the
your day.
when I was in
Yeah.
television. Many more.
You know what? Since we've gone way over, do you mind if I do something right now?
No. Is it scandalous?
No. But we are going to give away 2 tickets. We're talking about old guys performing, so why don't we give away 2 tickets to Paul McCartney?
Oh, I want to go. Can I win?
No. 651-461-9226. After weather and traffic, we will play Name That Tune for Paul McCartney tickets. So let's go. Fill up the phone lines right now. 651-461-9226. And then you'll come back and do weather and traffic, right?
Wow. I'm so jealous of our listeners.
All right, let's hit the button.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Traffic is brought to you by Amber Scholl of Scholl & Associates, American Family Insurance. 94 eastbound between Pryor Avenue and Snelling, there is a collision off on the side of the road. County Road 41 out in Chanhassen between Lyman and East 82nd. A couple of wrinkled autos out there. 694 headed west at Lexington and Highway 51. Semi on the side of the road on fire. Further east on 694 westbound at County Road 65 and White Bear Avenue, 18-wheeler accident over there. 35W headed north between 3rd and 11th, a multi-vehicle collision. Highway 5 eastbound near 494 ramp and Post Road, single car problem over there. Protect what matters most with Amber Scholl of Scholl & Associates with American Family Insurance. From your home to your car to your dreams, Amber Scholl and her team are here to help you every step of the way. Call Amber Scholl today at 651-738-4811 to learn more. Visit amfam.com. That's traffic. I'm Darren Kmeyer on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue. Here is WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
It won't be quite as cold overnight tonight, but still a bit chill, falling back to 57 with a mainly clear sky. Clouds are going to increase throughout the day. Now, there will be rain showers across northern Minnesota during the daytime. I don't think we'll see ours till evening. 76 the afternoon high, back to some sunshine on Saturday with a high of 77. Into the 80s on Sunday. It does get warmer and more humid next week.
All right, thanks, Chris. Right now, sunny, 71 on News Talk 830 WCCO.
We cover the headlines, break down the hot takes, and let you have a voice. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Now, here's Jason DeRUSH.
All right, the lines are full. It is our chance to give away tickets to see Paul McCartney in the Paul McCartney Get Back Tour. This is so fun. We've had such a good time giving away this pair of passes every day. You can buy them tomorrow. They go on sale starting tomorrow at paulmccartneygotback.com. But we are going to play a short clip of a Paul McCartney Beatles song, and if you know it, you win. Let's play the short clip first because everybody on hold will be able to hear it. Here we go. Oh my goodness, this is going to be over in 1 second. Patty in Bloomington. This is way too easy, Patty. I feel like you're going to nail this, aren't you? Oh, what happened?
I don't know what sheet you're looking at.
Oh, this is where are the names?
408 segment here.
Oh, I was looking at the caller
Sorry.
sheet. We got too many sheets.
Yeah.
Dan in Coon Rapids. Dan, you're up first. Dan, I think this is so easy. You can do it, can't you? Can you name that tune?
I think I can. Let It Be.
Hit it. Is he right? Is he right?
They may be parted. There is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer. Let it be.
There you go, Dan. You did it.
All right.
Let it be, Dan. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Oh, man. How big of a fan are you of McCartney?
Oh, just, Beatle, McCartney, my entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you call so quickly? There are people, my guy Benjamin, who's sitting in the YouTube, WCCO radio, watching this live. Benjamin's like, I don't get it. I called immediately. Dan was on it. What's your secret, Dan?
Lightning fingers. It's amazing because I did it with a rotary phone too.
You did not. Come on.
You are correct. I did not.
Oh, man. I was at a restaurant the other day and they have a wall of like vintage phones. So they had like the old kind of yellowed office phone where you like push the big button to put somebody on hold. And then they had a rotary phone. And I just think like, what do you think is like the maximum age where you remember using a rotary phone?
Oh my gosh. Well, I was a teenager.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I remember using it too. My parents, I don't feel that old, but alas,
sure.
I think if you're under 45, I think you're probably out on the rotary.
Right.
Dan,
right.
who are you going to bring to the show?
I'll bring my wife.
All right. Congratulations. You guys are going to have
Oh.
so much fun. Dan, thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. It means a lot.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay. Thank you.
All right. Dan in Coon Rapids. We'll put them on hold. Steve and Patrick and Eric, I'm sorry. I mean, I have some follow-up questions about lightning fingers, but I'm not.
Pretty quick people.
It's not that kind of show.
Yeah.
So we'll put Dan on hold and you can get his information whenever you want, Josh. Very good. I want to talk about the governor's race here in Minnesota because I have this theory that in Minnesota, we're stuck. We're stuck arguing about the same issues we've been arguing about for the last 4 years. We're stuck arguing about the same people and personalities that we've been arguing about. So considering my thesis that we're stuck, I was 0% surprised to see Dr. Scott Jensen today say that he wants to run it back and do another race for governor. Now, you heard in Susie's news that Governor Tim Walz said congratulations. He welcomes him to the party. But is this what we want? Is Jensen Walz Part 2 what we want as Minnesotans? That's what I'm going to talk about when we come back. I want your feedback at 651-461-9226. Do you want a do-over of the last election? We'll discuss that as Drive Time continues. You're home for Paul McCartney tickets, where we'll give away 2 more tickets tomorrow, sometime between 3 and 6, right here on CC.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Let's talk about good eating. And let's talk about Minnesota pork. It's Jason here for the Minnesota Pork Board. I was out to dinner last night, and my wife was almost making fun of me when we looked at the menu at Eloise in Wayzata, and Alyssa's like, well, pork tenderloin? You're talking about pork tenderloin on the show every day. So, of course, I ordered it, and of course, it was amazing. Pork tenderloin is one of my favorite cuts of Minnesota pork. But I want to encourage you to think about the different ways that you could use pork. Think about what pork can do for you. Bacon is just the beginning when it comes to pork. You got belly, you got ribs, you got shoulder, you got so many great options. And this being Thursday night, tenderloin, we had it at a restaurant, but there is nothing better then go into your local grocery store, your butcher shop, and see one of those pre-marinated pork tenderloins sitting on the shelf. Grab that bad boy, take her home, throw her on the grill. 15 minutes later, you're done. Minnesota pork is delicious. Get to mnpork.com if you want recipe information or to learn a little bit more about the 3,000 family farmers every corner of this state that want you to have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
Postman Law is about winning. If you've been hurt in a crash, on the job, or anywhere else, we fight to get you the most compensation possible. With over $3 billion recovered, our track record speaks for itself. Call 844-POSTMAN. Postman delivers speed, ease, and results. Offices, Minneapolis.
Storm season is here. That means nature's fury will cause damage to your roof. When it does, that's when you call Brian Jobe of Jobe Brothers Construction. Because they're local, they offer same-day, Twin City-wide emergency service. Jobe Brothers Construction will repair or replace your roof from nature's wrath. They'll also work with your insurance company to ensure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Brian and his team truly take the hassle out of a terrible situation. Working with Brian and his crew will give you peace of mind because it was done right. Just contact Jobe Brothers Construction for a no-obligation, free, and full inspection. JobeBrothersConstruction.com. That's J-O-B-E, Jobe Brothers Construction, handling all your roofing, siding, window, and gutter needs. They'll even repair your roof from fallen trees. Jobe Brothers Construction. They get the job done right.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
They say no two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? Well, we thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. She is an artist and absolutely a visual learner. She's doing a deep dive into our Babbel wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Malcolm is very much a type A, say it to my face, listening learner. So he checks with Babbel's speech recognition to make sure that accent.
Precio.
Keith's a real people person and a curious learner, so he loves Babbel's Culture Bites, full of insights and native knowledge about the language he's learning. Like, what's served for Christmas dinner in Germany?
Glühwein, Weihnachtsgans und Christmasstollen.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you text radio to 64,000. That's radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000.
Jason DeRusha.
I feel like I need to take some time off.
I think so too.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
We're stuck. We're just stuck like a song that keeps playing over and over in your head. We're going to redo the COVID arguments, the George Floyd arguments, the National Guard arguments. Ugh. Uninterested is my view. Here is Scott Jensen's launch video. Do you want this matchup? Do you want Republican Scott Jensen, Democrat Tim Walz? Today, Dr. Scott Jensen published this 80-second launch video.
I'm Dr. Scott Jensen, and I grew up in a town just like this, Sleepy Eye, Minnesota. Mom would tell me to go out and play and come back when the whistle blows.
Oh.
Dad's office was on Main Street next to the bakery. There was a hardware store and a lumber yard. You could make a decent living, afford what you needed, and trust your neighbors.
Couple
we
of
could
people
bring
talking.
that back. If you work hard on the farm,
Farm
with the
looks
mine,
good.
up in an office, or down at the bar. I think you should have the dignity of a decent living. You should be able to afford what you need. Work,
Smart.
save,
Yeah.
and buy
Yeah.
a house. Because Minnesota is for families who want to build it. And America is for Americans who want to love it. 2 decades of liberal policies have made Minnesota too expensive, too dangerous, and thrown our culture out of whack. Tim Walz made it worse. A leader must take responsibility. Tim Walz didn't. And so he shouldn't be governor. Every day, I pay my employees. Every day, I pray for my patients. When I make mistakes, I take responsibility. I miss that town whistle. But we can't roll back the clock. But lower prices, law and order, standing up for what's right. We can bring that back. I'm Scott Jensen. I'm running for governor to bring our Minnesota back.
All right, that's the Scott Jensen launch video. Lots of text coming in to talk about this. Let me just give you my view on this. And my view is that Minnesota is not well served by redoing the debates of the last 5 years. In fact, I think one of the major issues that holds our politics and our government back in this state is that we just keep banging the same issues into the ground. And I think if you get Jensen, Walz, that's what you're going to get. Now, that video had Scott Jensen talking about issues that I think would be smart issues for Republicans to run on. Law and order, sure. They tried to run on law and order last time. I don't know. Is that going to make more sense? Talking about law and order now? I don't know. I think people always are concerned about safety. You want to live in a safe community. And so, I don't know, wouldn't you rather see anybody else? And I have said the same thing about Tim Walz, that I think our state is going to be stuck having the same arguments if you have Tim Walz running again. Now, as always, when I have these conversations about candidates who are running, you know, it's easy to have a theoretical conversation, right? The reality when it comes time to vote is who's he running against or who's she running against? Because it's always one or the other. It's not one against Jesus, okay? It's never against the perfect candidate. But I just think I'm not into it. I'm not into it. Walz is beatable, says a texter, if the Republicans are smart enough to nominate a good candidate like Lisa Dameth, but I'm not sure Republicans are smart enough. Another texter, is this almost over? I want to puke. I'm about to slit my wrist thinking about Walz and Jensen running again. Don't slit your wrist. And understood. Is Walz beatable? Maybe. But you also have to face reality. And the reality is the last time the Republicans won a statewide election was Governor Tim Pawlenty in 2006. So it'll be almost 20 years. And so you have a statewide Republican Party that is in disarray. They just fired their executive director. They don't have much money. They have not managed to bring any sort of well-funded or well-known candidate for the U.S. Senate seat that is open, which should be wide open. If Republicans have any chance, you would think they would have a chance in this U.S. Senate race. And I think the two Republicans who have said they're running for U.S. Senate, both of them have less than $100,000 in campaign funds with the last report. And Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, along with U.S. Representative Angie Craig combined, have, I think, more than $2 million. $2 million. So money isn't everything. You don't need to be the best funded. And if you nominate a candidate that the national donors think has a shot, you know, I think you've got a shot. The demographics of this state, though, largely because the abortion issue, I think. Michelle Tafoya has talked about this, former CCO radio host. She's a podcaster. She, of course, rose to fame off of being a sideline reporter and a great sports broadcaster. But Michelle has talked about the fact that Republicans are never going to win in this state as long as they insist on running on a platform of banning abortion. And I think she's right. Texter says the same thing. Until Republicans get on the right side of the abortion debate, they will continue to lose in Minnesota. I think the abortion issue, Republicans have used that. And I say use that because I think only some Republicans truly believe what they're saying on the abortion issue. And I think some Republicans recognize it motivates people to come out to the polls. But young Republicans generally do not think that abortion should be banned. Sorry, they don't. The polling indicates that. It's a loser. Now, do I want to redo this? No. Because you know what it's going to be. It's going to be a year of people trotting out. They're like, well, Tim Walz let Minneapolis burn. And Tim Walz let people go to the world's largest candy store, but he shut down the store on Main Street. And while those issues, I think, are reasonable issues to talk about, it's 2025. It's 5 years later, 4 years later. Voters have already reelected this guy after that. So if all you got is that, I'm out. I'm not voting for you. This is why I don't want to see the same deal over again, because I want to talk about our future, not our past. And when you bring out the same people over and over and over and over, all you get is a conversation on the past. Also, I have a show to do, and I guess I have like my old notes on that campaign, so we could do that again, I suppose. I want some new material. We all want new material, don't we? Let's break. In just a minute, we are going to talk. We are going to talk about the future. The new CEO just named for Children's Minnesota, for the first time in the history of this institution, the new president is a woman. Dr. Emily Chapman will join us in studio. We'll talk about, well, I think you're going to be fascinated with her origin story on how she ended up as a doctor, because she didn't start at the hospital as a doctor. Pretty cool stuff. We'll meet Dr. Chapman in just a minute here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, since we're going to talk to a doctor, let's talk about one of my favorite doctors in the Twin Cities, and that is Dr. Mohiba Tureen with Tureen Dermatology. It's Jason here. Minnesota is in the top 3 states for new melanoma diagnosis, and I know firsthand about the danger of skin cancer. My father had skin cancer. My father-in-law, now a patient at Tureen Dermatology, has had many different pre-cancer and cancerous growths removed. So many of us, I think, didn't realize how dangerous the sun could be. And frankly, I'm of an age where a lot of us were spending time in the back of a video store underneath those tanning bed lights. And you want to make sure that you have nothing to worry about. Get to Tureen Dermatology. They have 9 different locations, more than 25 board-certified providers. The first time I had a full-body skin checkup, I was a little nervous because, you know, it's right in the name, full-body skin checkup. It sounds horrifying. Tureen Dermatology makes you feel so comfortable. The people there love what they do. They love their patients. You're going to love them, too. You can make an appointment online. Tareen Dermatology. Their locations all over town. I go to Roseville. You could go to Faribault. How about Eagan, Lakeville? Brand new in Lakeville and Lindstrom. Hudson with an awesome location, too. Get to TureenDermatology.com today.
Caught in traffic? Get caught up on the game. You're stuck on 494, but your heart's racing like you're behind home plate. You can't see the swing, but you know it's gone.
He swings and drives. deep to left field. Second home run of the day for Byron Buxton.
That's the magic of baseball on the radio.
Ground ball, hard hit, dive, stopped by Clemens. Again from his knees, retires DeRUSH.
Here, we don't just call the game, we drop you right into it.
High and deep to left. This one carrying to the bullpen. Ty France walks off the Royals.
Twins baseball on News Talk 830 WCCO.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. Many retailers use a computer program to tell you which mattress to buy after answering a few questions. That's not how finding the right mattress works. At OMF, our associates take the time to understand your specific needs. They'll guide you through our showroom, explain the differences between models, and help you select the right mattress. No computers, no gimmicks, just personal attention and quality mattresses built locally. Visit any showroom and experience the OMF difference for yourself.
Hey, y'all, Jeff Foxworthy here. Now, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing over and over for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
That's why I'm filling in for Smokey to switch things up, because there's a lot more to say. And I should know because my grandfather was a firefighter. And one of the things he taught me is that the people that love the outdoors the most are often the ones accidentally starting wildfires, which means always BYOB. No, bring your own bucket to the campfire. And be extra careful with things like burning yard trimmings. Don't just walk away, or chances are you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
We're kind of in a time crunch.
As soon as possible. Now.
Fast.
More and more people are saying yes to a guaranteed cash offer on their house because speed is everything. Get your guaranteed cash offer and a fresh start today at chrislindahl.com.
Terms and conditions apply.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
494 eastbound between Lindale and Nicollet, a multi-vehicle accident being reported over there. 694 headed west at Lexington, and Highway 5 still working on that hot semi-fire on the ramp there. About a 5-minute delay. 94 eastbound between 3rd and 35W is dragging, 11-minute delay over there. 35W headed south at the Minnesota River Bridge and Black Dog Road, a smash up being reported further down on 35 at 162nd and Kenwood. They're loading one up on the back of a wrecker down there. That's a look at traffic. I'm Darren Kmeyer on Newstalk 830 WCCO.
Gutters, call the pros. Advantage Home Pros. With the highest quality workmanship and materials, seamless gutter installation, cleaning, and covers, our trained, knowledgeable local pros can handle it all. Trust the pros. AdvantageHomePros.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, the forecast is brought to you by Advantage Home Pros. Let's get the latest from Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Another chilly night tonight. Not as cold as it was this morning. 57 will be the overnight low. Clouds will increase throughout the day. Scattered showers pop by evening time. 76 the high. Close to that on Saturday. We should be dry, though. Mix of sun and clouds. Mix of sun and clouds on Sunday as well, creeping up to the low 80s.
Nice day today. Low humidity. The sun is out. It is 72 in Woodbury on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH, video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Million miles away.
All right, this caught my attention this week because there's so much going on in healthcare. There's so much going on in hospitals in Minnesota. And so when you have a leadership change, to me, it's exciting and interesting. And Children's Minnesota is such a powerhouse here in the metro area that for the first time in the history of Children's Minnesota, 100 years or so, the CEO will be a woman. Dr. Emily Chapman is with us in studio. It's so good to have you here. Congratulations.
Why, thank you very much.
You were just telling me that your current boss, soon to be former boss,
Yes.
feels his job is easier than what your job was as medical director of the hospital.
Chief Medical Officer. Yes, that one's a challenge. He says this is going to be much easier.
I don't know.
I don't either.
What is the number one thing when you look at that feels like it's going to be the biggest lift, the hardest part of your new job?
Well, the hardest part is probably going to be navigating everything that's happening outside of our walls. What's happening in Washington, watching the state capitol, all of the things that influence our ability to support the care that we deliver.
Yeah, I mean, the policy, and we'll get into that in a little bit, because the policy environment, especially when you look at Medicaid, Medicare, the federal government controls a lot of things that you'll be able to have a voice in, but it's just one voice. It is going to be what they want it to be, I suppose.
It is. And Medicaid in particular, what people often don't understand is that the face of Medicaid truly is the face of a child. That is what supports the pediatric care across our country. And so at Children's Minnesota, about half the kids that we care for are dependent on some form of government payer mix through Medicaid.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't realize how much of our healthcare system is sort of built on that Medicaid payment and payout and all of that.
Absolutely. And really, Medicaid pays our hospital, most hospitals, about 70 cents out of the dollar that it costs us to deliver the care. Not that we would bill, but that it costs us to deliver the care. And so we've got a huge deficit going into this. And so as a not-for-profit organization, it's tricky to figure out how to sustain the care that we deliver to community.
I think sometimes, those of us who get our insurance bill and, pay it and pay whatever amount we owe the hospital, look at all this money that's going out and think, man, being a hospital's got to be pretty good. That's a big check. And I think sometimes they don't realize that, no, quite a bit of the payment is either no payment or pennies on the dollar.
That's absolutely true. There's a huge amount of community benefit that we offer as a result of this uncompensated care. And that supports our not-for-profit status and our ability
of course,
to work that way. Right?
Yeah. Dr. Emily Chapman, the incoming CEO of Children's Minnesota, is with us. 2 hospitals.
Yes.
Specialty clinics all over the region.
Yes. Ambulatory surgery center.
Big.
All of that.
Pretty big.
We are one of the largest independent freestanding children's hospitals in the country.
When you look at sort of the way the, PR gurus wrote this up, that you're the first woman CEO, what does that mean? What do you do with that?
Well, first of all, let's be clear. I may be the first woman president and CEO, but I am not the first woman to lead and build this healthcare organization. So this dates way back. There is Eleanor Sackett Reed, who was back in the 1940s all the way to 1970, who was an administrator, hospital administrator at our St. Paul Hospital. And then we also had Susan Ellis Crutchfield, an African-American woman, and she chaired the governance board of our Minneapolis hospital. All of this, of course, was before the 2 hospitals came together as the current Children's Minnesota. But most of healthcare is delivered by and built on women.
I think that's true. And it is, from that perspective, like sort of the it's about time vibe, right? But also, like, your background to me is one of not just like overnight success and overnight leadership. You started really at one of my absolute favorite positions that exist in a children's hospital, especially.
Well, yes, I started as a child life specialist. Now, lots of people don't know what that is, but a child life specialist is a member of that clinical care team whose job it is to ensure that the normal, healthy development occurs while a child is working through illness and working to get better, and that the child understands at their developmental level what it is that they're going through to help mitigate some of that trauma.
It's really on the ground floor of making a family and a child's experience in a scary situation feel like a little more normal.
It's really emphasizes and really taught me to revere that human connection and the power that has in healing and delivering care. And now as I've moved into leadership roles, that human connection, we talk about teams and what makes a functional team. That's at the center of our being able to be innovative, our being able to achieve the outcomes that we need to be successful as an organization. And I think sometimes we don't pay enough attention to that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're able in the corner office to draw on that experience, right?
I would be lost without it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of unique, right? I mean, because I know that university systems all around the country have in the business schools, many of them I know because I have a high school senior who is going into business school, and I heard a lot about different programs that are out there for people who want to get into hospital administration. And so, of course, you're going to have people who are experts in sort of running medical facilities and hospitals, but it's something different when you say like, no, my heart is in being a child life specialist,
right,
and then being a pediatrician.
I think it's a little akin to having started in the mailroom.
Yeah.
I
right?
honestly didn't
Do people look at you like, you
Yes.
started as what?
Well, I honestly didn't walk into a hospital with the intention of being a physician. I walked in with the intention of connecting with families to help them process what they were working through.
What year was this?
Do I have to tell you what year this
Well,
is?
I only ask because I wonder like what sort of jerk doctors you had sort of looking at.
Oh, I have to say,
You're lucky?
I will have to say that in pediatrics, the jerk doctor factor is very, very low.
Oh, good.
That's good. We are wonderful.
The same is not true of radio hosts. I'll tell you that much.
Well, I'm checking that out right now, so we'll see.
Dr. Evelyn Chapman is with us. I want to break. I want to talk about the biggest medical issue that you feel is facing young people right now, and maybe the biggest thing our audience could do to try to help young people. I mean, I don't want to hurt your business, but ideally, none of us want our kids coming to your hospital.
I don't want anyone's kids coming to my hospital.
No, so we'll talk about that and some of the policy issues too. New CEO of Children's Minnesota with us for the half hour here, Emily Chapman, here on Drive Time with DeRUSH.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Livia Weight Loss Center changed my life. It did. It's Jason here. I, as you guys know, gained a fair amount of weight in my time working the early morning shift. Those hours aren't great for the metabolism. My eating wasn't great. And I got to a point where I knew I needed help. Livia was there to help me out as a coach, and accountability was there. Cheering for me was there. I joined Livia in the summer 3 years ago. I lost 45 pounds. Took a while, about 6 months. But I kept all of that weight off now, 2.5 years later. You can get those results as well. Livia's summer nutrition program is going on right now. And to celebrate the fact that for the 5th year in a row, they were named the gold winner, Minnesota's best weight loss center, they're extending their Livia Days deal, 50% off the whole weight loss program. Now, if you're interested in GLP-1 weight loss medication, which has been a game changer for so many people, Livia does it their way with the nutritional coaching, with the life lessons, with GLP-1 friendly meals. And right now, if you buy 2 months of same-day medical weight loss injections, you get a 3rd month free. The savings are nice, but it's the people and it's the mission that led to success for me. Get to Livia.com today. Join now. Take advantage of that 50% off. Livia.com or 855-GO-LIVIA.
Heading out for the weekend? Lucky you.
Don't forget to stop at Thielen Meats of Pierce for some melt-in-your-mouth moments.
High quality beef.
Fresh and smoked sausages and brats.
Home smoked bacon.
All natural chicken.
A great selection of fish and seafood.
Visit us at ThielenMeats.com.
We've got the cuts that'll make your meal.
Call to order ahead and pick up on your way to the lake.
You'll be the hit of the party.
No meals complete. without feeling meat. Of beers.
612 Saturdays are back at Target Field. Enjoy $6 drinks, $1 snacks, and $2 food when gates open.
I'm from the 952. Can I enjoy 612 Saturdays?
The 952 is welcome.
I'm from the 218.
218, 651. Everyone is welcome at 612 Saturdays.
I'm from the 313. How about me?
That's Detroit.
Yeah.
Sure. Enjoy the weekend wind-up with 612 Saturdays presented by Carbliss. $6 drinks, $1 snacks, and $2 food. When we're together, the Twins rise as one. Join in at twins.com/tickets.
The sun's out and the fun's out at Runnings this summer. The annual bucket sale is back, and you get 15% off everything you can fit inside, even sale-priced items. Remember, the bucket is free with a $5 purchase. The bucket sale happening at all Running stores Friday and Saturday, July 18th and 19th. Shop in-store and fill your bucket with items from all departments, including clothing, pets, sporting goods, lawn and garden, tools, and more. Get 15% off everything that fits in your bucket. Some exclusions apply. The bucket sale at Runnings, now with 90 locations. Go to runnings.com to find the store in your community.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Grown-ups, aren't Sundays more fun without... Can I have screen time? Can I have a snack? I don't want to go to Grandma's. It smells funny. And I'm bored. Bored is impossible on Kids Day at Target Field. The Gate 34 lawn is turned into Bullseye's backyard. Kids' meals are half off. Kids 12 and under can run the bases after the game. And Grandma's invited too. Enjoy your weekend wind-up with Sunday Kids Days, presented by Target. Join in at twins.com/tickets.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Over on 12 eastbound in Wayzata at Bushaway and 494, some debris on the road. 494 eastbound between Lindale and Nicollet, a multi-vehicle accident causing about a 13-minute delay over there. 94 eastbound between 3rd and 35W is slow and go. 10-minute delay on that one. 35W headed south at the Minnesota River Bridge and Black Dog Road. A couple cars smashed up down there, and that is slowing things down. That's a look at your roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, the weather is brought to you by Gutman Law, Wills, Trust, and Probate. Tonight, mainly clear, low of 57. Tomorrow, showers by evening. The day will be nice, high of 76. And then the weekend looks pretty good, mostly cloudy. Saturday, high of 77. Right now, it's 72 on CCO.
Jason DeRusha
If I'm having a bad day, I will pull up and I am ready to go.
on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Talking with the new CEO of Children's Minnesota. So much to talk about when it comes to healthcare and our kids. The new president and CEO, Dr. Emily Chapman, is with us, streaming live on YouTube on the WCCO radio channel and, of course, on the Odyssey app. So, policy issues we talked about a little bit. Federal cuts. We know this affects you a lot. What is there a combined effort? We have a number of children's hospitals here in town. We have a number of medical groups and teams. Are you guys working together to try to, make sure we have funding to take care of our kids?
Oh, absolutely. Both at the state level and nationally. We've got a very strong organization in the Children's Hospital Association that gives a voice to all of these children's facilities.
Like on a 1 to 10, how 1 being not that worried, 10 being freaking out, where are you on the issue of federal budget cuts?
Maybe 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that serious. It really
Oh,
is.
it absolutely is that serious.
Do we know yet the full ramifications of the budget bill that was just passed?
I don't think we do. First of all, there's still some work to be done on it. It's got to go through rules committees and various other things, and then understand, how it's phased in and how that affects us and how we respond as various states to try and shore up the funding.
You deal with kids, children, their concerns, their health care. Sometimes it's relatively minor stuff. Sometimes it's serious disease. When you're talking to parents right now who are listening to this and grandparents, what would you encourage grown-ups to do to try to take care of our kids better and do what we can anyway to keep them out of your hospital?
Probably 2 things, and they may not be the ones you would expect. There's always good stuff like hand washing and things like that. And wearing helmets. Please wear helmets when your kids are on the bike.
All the time? When our kids?
Most of the time.
Yes.
If you're prone to falling
Okay,
down, then
all right.
most of the time. But no, number 1 is one of the threats to child health is disinvestment in our next generation as a country. And advocacy is critically important, and parents have power. So that's one.
What do you mean by that? Schools, education, housing, healthcare?
Well, in particular, healthcare, which we were just talking about.
That sort of disinvestment.
Right.
But the reality is all of this works together, right? Like I work on the issue of hunger, and our number 1 concern with hunger right now is cuts to Medicaid.
Yes, exactly.
Which it's not a direct relationship, but if you can't afford your health care, you're not going to be able to afford to eat.
Exactly. Right. The other thing is, I think a real concern for me is the erosion of trust in science and in medical expertise. And having seen what infectious diseases do, I'm old enough that I have seen before we had, for instance, pneumococcal vaccines, and these infectious diseases were taking the lives of healthy kids. It's understandable. Coming out of COVID, we're all confused. What is the right advice? What is the best scientific evidence? But one of the things that I urge you is have a full conversation with your pediatrician and your advisors to think about what's in the best interest of your child and the importance of vaccinating your child in order to protect the rest of the kids in the state of Minnesota.
Yeah, I am broadly concerned about the lack of trust in experts. And we can argue all we want about like whose fault this is. But I don't think we're well served as a country by deciding that all of us can do our own research. I mean, I just don't think that's the right path for us, that we should be able to talk to our doctors and believe them. You can question them. Sometimes you got to question your doctor.
Your voice in your healthcare is critically important. And one of the reasons that you have a partner in a physician or a nurse practitioner or a physician assistant is to help you interpret the evidence that's out there and do that together.
Besides money, what do we need more of in the children's health system?
We need more trust,
Yeah.
more human connection, more safety and security. We need to see everyone, hear every voice, make sure everyone's valued.
Yeah. More people going in the medical field?
We do need more people going into the medical field. We know we don't have enough for the future, and we know we're going to have to redesign how we deliver care to accommodate that.
Yeah. More people are living longer. People are more sick. Yeah. We need more people.
And we need to invest in the health of these kids.
Dr. Emily Chapman, so good to have you here. We're excited to see what you do at Children's Minnesota. You've got a great outfit to run, that's for sure.
I sure do.
All right.
It's such a privilege.
I hope your job's not easier than your old one. That's no good. That's so good.
Thanks for that wish.
Thanks, Emily.
Thank you.
Chad back here with you on CCO. I want to talk insurance. and the group I have trusted for 30 years. Not just me, my father, my boys, we have been with Amber Scholl and Associates the entire time. They are with American Family, and trust is the right word. When something awful happens with your business or your home or your car, you need people who are available. You need individuals who have a team, and they've handled every situation. Amber and her team have done that. Let's be honest. Insurance rates are complicated. You need someone who knows this business in all ways, and I wouldn't be with Amber for 30 years unless I totally believed in her. Call today, 651-738-4811, and tell me you heard this spot from Chad on CCO.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
Your news when you want, how you want. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis St. Paul. Always streaming on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Michael Wallace, the House Rules Committee is expected to take up the Senate version of the bill to claw back $9 billion in funding for foreign aid and public broadcasting. Kathy Smith is a retired teacher in Wisconsin who donates and listens to National Public Radio.
I'm afraid they're going to destroy it, and then it's going to take years and years to bring it back to where it has been.
House Democrats may try to delay the vote with amendments tied to the Jeffrey Epstein controversy. For the White House, it's a controversy that won't go away.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the Trump administration has been transparent.
It was this president who directed the Department of Justice and the Attorney General to do an exhaustive review of all files related to Jeffrey Epstein, which they did.
The Democrats, she suggested, were being disingenuous by demanding release of those files.
Democrats have now seized on this as if they ever wanted transparency when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein.
Some high-profile Republicans have also demanded the release of the files, with some calling for a special prosecutor to investigate. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
We got an update on President Trump's swollen legs today. More from CBS News chief medical contributor Dr. John LaPook.
The White House announced that the president has chronic venous insufficiency. And before getting to that diagnosis, you have to make sure that there's not some other serious condition. And they said that they ruled out any problem with his heart, any problem with his kidneys, or any blood clots in the veins.
ICE will now have access to Medicaid records, including recipients' addresses. Mark Jones is a political science fellow at Rice University.
It's going to create this impression within the undocumented immigrant community that if you do seek medical care, that it could actually put you on ICE's radar and lead to your deportation.
An Israeli strike on Gaza's only Catholic church killed 3 people. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt
Called Prime Minister Netanyahu this morning to address the strikes on that church in Gaza. And I understand the Prime Minister agreed to put out a statement. It was a mistake by the Israelis to hit that Catholic church.
Pope Leo renewed his call for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. Steve Miller is canceling his North American tour, which was supposed to kick off next month. He's citing the recent flooding, tornadoes, extreme heat, and other severe weather. Miller says the risks to his band and fans are unacceptable. The NASDAQ and the S&P 500 closed at record highs today on a surprise rebound in retail sales in June, as well as strong corporate earnings. The NASDAQ rose 155 points. The S&P was up 33. Dow gained 229. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast, from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Partly cloudy skies, 72 degrees. The hour's top story, Minnesota DFL State Senator Nicole Mitchell is done testifying after spending most of the day on the stand in her first-degree burglary case. She is charged with breaking into her stepmother's home in Detroit Lakes last year. On the stand today, she and her defense team tried to paint a more personal picture of her and how much she loved her stepmother. She said she was worried about her well-being as the elderly Mitchell has Alzheimer's, but that contradicted earlier statements that Nicole Mitchell made about breaking into the home to get some of her late father's belongings. On cross-examination, Becker County Attorney Brian McDonald pointed out those differences.
Now, you elaborately, eloquently described all the things you did in the house after you broke in with the crowbar. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
Okay. Yet, when you were questioned in the back of the squad, you said, I had literally just gotten into the house, hadn't had time to do anything. Clearly, I'm not good at this.
The defense has not rested its case yet, and there's a chance more witnesses could be called tomorrow. Governor Tim Walz responding to news that the federal government is investigating what could be another large fraud case. It involves the state's Medicaid funding housing stabilization services program, which is supposed to help find and maintain housing for older adults and people with disabilities, including substance use disorder and mental illness.
Minnesota is a generous state, and I think there is a tendency to err on the side of making sure children get food, making sure people have housing stabilization. But I've told our agencies and things that we can have best intentions, but there are bad folks that are trying to do this.
FBI investigators executed search warrants at 5 Twin Cities providers at 8 different locations recently, according to the U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson. Well, Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison has pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of reckless driving in his DWI case.
He will be placed on probation for 12 months and pay a fine, as well as complete 2 online courses. The move resolves his 2024 DUI citation, but while his legal case is over, this plea still leaves him subject to NFL discipline, which for a first-time offense involving alcohol in a driving incident typically means he'll face a 3-game suspension. The NFL has yet to issue a statement on the matter. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830. WCCO.
More than 500 athletes from across the country, the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico will compete in the 2025 National Veterans Wheelchair Games taking place at various sites over the next week, and it all starts today.
The athletes will compete in 22 events. Co-director of the Games, Dave Tostenrud.
We're using adaptive sports as a rehabilitation opportunity.
But the Games are much more than just the competition. Co-director Jen Purser.
You're seeing a support system built that they can carry on not just here, but also outside of the games.
Many of these athletes never competed in organized sports.
With all the novice athletes, we make sure that we are informing them with everything they need. We have a novice athlete meeting. And of course, we're always readily available. So yeah, like if you come here and you're like, this is intimidating, we make sure we have all the resources for you.
Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Again, the event begins today and runs through July 22nd. WCCO News Time is 5:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
This traffic report is brought to you by Treasure Island Resort and Casino. 94 westbound at 61, a 2-car wrinkle on the side of the road. 65 northbound between 87th and 89th in Blaine. 3 cars ran together. 51 southbound between St. Anthony Avenue and 94, a crash being reported. 694 eastbound at University and Central. There's a vehicle crash being reported over there also. Discover your summer soundtrack at Treasure Island Resort and Casino's 2-day music festival. Music by the Mississippi. See Shane Smith and the Saints, Shaky Graves, Soul Asylum, and more incredible artists perform live at Treasure Island Amphitheater on Friday and Saturday, July 25th and 6th. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Time now to check.
Don't be alarmed by that thunderclap and that sounder there.
At first, when I first heard it, I thought there might be
I know, I
some
looked
bad
outside too. That's how good the audio is on AM.
That's right.
AM radio, a lot of people
Radio
criticize it.
theater of the mind, we call it here.
Yeah. It's like when you hear a siren in a commercial, it always freaks you out a little bit. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm one of those, I'm like the 90-year-olds who text in, don't put the siren in the commercial. And me.
Then it confuses you.
Yeah.
You don't know what's what.
And I pull over. If I hear the siren, I immediately pull over.
You do not. All right, let's hear what Chris has to say about the forecast.
It won't be quite as cold overnight tonight, but still a bit chill. Falling back to 57 with a mainly clear sky. Clouds are going to increase throughout the day. Now, there will be rain showers across northern Minnesota during the daytime. I don't think we'll see ours till evening. 76 the afternoon high, back to some sunshine on Saturday with a high of 77. Into the 80s on Sunday. It does get warmer and more humid next week.
And it is a top 10 weather day. Jason DeRUSH.
That's outrageous. Outrageous. Channel 4, those weather people are the biggest cowards in the world. And I know because I used to be part of the conversation.
How do you mean coward?
So all summer, it's almost impossible to get them to declare a top 10 weather day because it's all like it's all
timing.
Chicken Little. Who is the one who Little Miss Muffet? What's the fairy tale who needs it like Princess and the Pea? The Princess and the Pea, where it's always like, oh, that's uncomfortable, that hurts, that's not right. Oh. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
I know you
but
don't.
Let me just throw out fairy tale. I'm just trying to think of a metaphor. It's never good enough. It's like, oh, it's going to be a little cloudy in the morning, so I don't know if it could be a top 10 weather day. Or,
I see.
oh, it's going to be a little hot, or oh, there's a little chance at
You
11
suppose
p.m.
They say just that.
Oh, it's all the time. They're like, we might get some emails because they're afraid to get a couple emails. I'm like, check out my emails. You
Everybody
little
hates you.
pansies. It's called Toughen Up.
Toughen up. So I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm off for a week now. I'm gone.
I figured based on the fact you brought a suitcase here. If you're watching on the live stream, it got plunked down like right in front of the camera. The whole newscast was with your big old bag. Yeah. You're going to be gone for a full week.
Yes.
Are you going anywhere fun?
Yes. We've never been to the Royal Star Resort in Nisswa, Minnesota.
Sounds fancy.
They have 13 cabins, and the Jones clan is going to be in 6 of them.
Mm.
So we're really taking over the joint.
I think it's in Nevis.
Is it Nevis or Nisswa?
Yeah. Well, I'm Googling it. And it says,
I have directions.
I mean, gosh, I hope. Is there a chance your friend sent you to the wrong resort?
She's about to spend a week at Zorba's.
No, it's possible because my family would do something like that just for fun. Are you sure it's Nevis?
I don't know. I'm just telling you.
Royal Star.
Should we call them right now?
Call them and find out. Do you have cabins booked for the Joneses? Because otherwise we are screwed.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I'm looking forward to wherever we end up.
It's on the Crow Wing.
It looks great on the stream right now.
Yeah.
That's it. Royal Star.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm telling you, this is going to be fun.
And you're going with your family.
Mm-hmm. We have 6 cabins.
This is not sponsored. I'm showing people what it looks like.
No.
But if they want to
week.
upgrade your room, that'd be nice.
There's no upgrading. You get what you get. A pickleball court. That'll be fun.
Do you play pickleball?
No, but I might try.
I've played a couple times.
What do you think?
I like it, actually. I want to hate it because like all my old friends do it and I like to make fun of them. But it's actually quite fun.
Let's see where it is. Did you see the address, you guys?
6th Crow Wing Lake, Nevis, Minnesota.
And I keep saying Nisswa.
That's fine. We're in the same ballpark here, aren't we? I think. I don't know. I don't want to offend the good people of Nevis. I'll be in Nisswa next week also.
Really?
Actually, Thursday. I'm going to
Nisswa or Nevis?
Nisswa.
Okay.
I hope. I don't know. Is it in the? Are they even in the same area?
Yeah, I think.
No.
We'll find out next
Nisswa.
week.
No, they're not.
Nevis is over by
Nevis is up by Park Rapids.
That's where we usually go. That's where the other place was.
Well, Nisswa is by like Gull Lake and Pequot Lakes and Brainerd.
I have misspoken. I've
You've been telling people this for
I've
weeks.
been lying.
Well, I fired up the Google map and we're showing it on the stream right now. This is
We
what
are not.
Oh, we are.
People can see if you. This is why you should be watching on YouTube, because then every once in a while I have my computer up and you never. What is Jason looking at on his computer? You never. Well, now you know.
Now you know he's
The
playing
Royal Star.
He is going to.
Maybe I'm playing solitaire or something. Minesweeper.
Maybe you're going to come up and stop by and get a hamburger.
Well, I will be down by Gull Lake. That's probably 45 minutes from you, I would think.
But you know what? I want to stop talking because I want to.
All right, get out of here. I know. I got stuff to do. Hit the button.
All right. Bye, guys.
Have a good week.
Yeah.
Politics, sports, business, and everything that moves Minnesota. News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRUSH. Once again, here's Jason DeRUSH.
All right, let's get right to it. DeRUSH Hour news headlines. Lots to talk about. We're going to talk about, let's talk about housing prices first. It's time for the DeRUSH Hour news.
Now, time to get you caught up on some of the biggest stories of the day. These are the DeRUSH Hour headlines.
Good evening. Our top story.
This just in.
Our top story.
We begin tonight with.
We begin tonight.
We begin with the lead.
And first up, the median house price in the Twin Cities breaks $400,000 for the first time. I want to get to Andy Babula, who is the real estate and finance for the Opus College of Business at the University of St. Thomas. Andy knows real estate, and he joins us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Andy, is this a significant thing, or is this just a big round number to have that median price at $400,000?
Yeah, I think it's both. It is. You're right. It's a big round number. It was a big deal when we hit 200,000. It was a big deal when we hit 300,000. It's just another number in some cases. But I think on an emotional level, on a mental level, yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, for someone to spend a median price of $400,000, and that can be concerning for a lot of people. Prices have definitely been going up.
One of the things that I think has a lot of people concerned is the fact that, if you're looking to buy your first home, if you're in your upper 20s or 30s, $400,000 is a monster number for so many people. And obviously that's the median price, but what does that tell us as far as what the availability is for that entry level home?
Well, you're right. It's the median. So that means there are just as many homes priced above 400,000, just as many priced below 400,000. So there are what we call starter homes that you could get for $250,000, $300,000, $350,000. But even for somebody who is looking for a starter home, if you're paying $300,000, $350,000, with on top of that higher interest rates than we've seen several years ago, it translates into a pretty hefty monthly payment.
So I'm a little surprised by this, and I've been watching home prices pretty closely post-COVID with the uncertainty about interest rates. I would have expected I thought I was going to have a buying opportunity. I thought prices would drop. That hasn't largely happened. Why do you think that is?
Right. A lot of people were thinking, maybe expecting, hoping that prices would go down. Well, as you say, with the pandemic, and very low interest rates, we saw prices jump. 2020, 21, 22, they jumped 10, 15% in some cases per year. We're not seeing drops. We're seeing slight increases. And why is that? Interest rates went up, which causes your monthly payment to go up, which you would think people would say, well, then I can't pay as much for a home, so therefore I'm willing to or I'm only willing to buy it for a certain amount, and that would put downward pressure on prices. Unfortunately, though, even if demand has slowed a little bit, the supply isn't there. And so, as you know, in basic economics, if your demand still is greater than your supply, your prices aren't going to go down. They're actually going to go up. And so we just haven't had the amount of building over the last decade or so that we needed to keep up with even our modest population growth. And actually also with lower interest rates earlier on, a lot of homeowners, baby boomers and others who locked into a lower interest rate, they're not looking to move out of their homes. So they're not putting that supply back on the market. And so again, there's a lot of reasons why supply is down, and that's keeping prices elevated.
Yeah, I suppose I look at my own situation, Andy, and I think I'm part of the problem. We are in the same home that we bought 20 years ago, and my wife and I were talking the other day, and our mortgage is so low, it's like $1,600. I don't know that I'll ever sell that house. And I could see myself like getting an apartment or getting a condo. And I look at my home, I'm like, why would I sell it?
Right. Yep. That's exactly the case. You and me both.
I know, right?
We're two of many people.
Sorry, kids. Sorry to the younger generation. Andy and I are screwing you. It's pretty much what's happening here.
And it will happen. I mean, people will, family situations change. People have kids, people upsize, downsize, people move for jobs. Unfortunately, people pass away or need to move into retirement homes, things like that. So that supply is, or homes are going back on the market, but it's just not at the pace we've seen in years past.
Really appreciate the insight, Andy Babula. Say your last name for me, Andy. I was just guessing. I'm probably messing.
No, I've
this
heard
up.
it all. It's Babula.
Babula. All right. I apologize. Andy Babula from the University of St. Thomas runs the real estate program. Great stuff, Andy. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure to be on. Thank you.
All right. One more item in the DeRUSH Hour News Headlines lead segment, and that is news that broke today that the Minnesota Twins are finally going to have a jersey patch. The Twins were one of the few teams that did not have a jersey patch sponsor. And now we get one. Kind of weird, right? In the middle of the season, they're going to plop this Securian Financial patch on there. Sports Business Journal reporting that this is a multi-year extension between the Twins and Securian. They've been a sponsor of the Twins for several years, started in 2017. They'll start wearing that patch tomorrow in Colorado, and that logo will be on all of the jerseys throughout spring training, the regular season, and according to the team, the playoffs. I like it.
I love the optimism.
Now, Securian is one of us, so we should be happy about that. They're headquartered in St. Paul. And you, if you've been to Target Field lately, you see them they're on the outdoor wall. So pretty good. Good stuff.
Love it.
Yeah. I mean, we could probably go, are we going to be buyers at the trade deadline, you think, Josh? Now that we've been waiting for the patch sponsorship. Which of the patch?
They needed the money, Jason.
So I'm trying to figure out which. I think Nintendo is a pretty cool sponsor. They're the Mariners. Yeah, Kroger. Got Quick Trip for the Royals. That's pretty good.
Interesting.
Nothing totally embarrassing.
No.
Twins have said they were holding out to make sure they had a good partner. They didn't want to put something on the patch that would be just some sort of lame.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there were plenty of people willing to pay the money.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
But do you want that on every jersey? You got to think about that.
That's fair. Got to have that PR image,
I tried to get our logo on there, but Odyssey didn't quite have the budget for the drive
stick
time.
with the flagship station.
That's exactly how that's going to go. That's the DeRUSH Hour News Headlines, the lead. In just a minute, we flip over to page 2, where we'll talk about a little bit more making fun of the Steve Miller Band. Edina Grill is closing. Do you want to make 6 figures? We'll tell you which job you need in the Twin Cities to do that. and some cool news out of the south suburb of Rosemount. All of that next.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play stop, opt out. Terms and conditions apply to the earnings promotion.
Do you have caregiving experience as a parent, teacher, nanny, coach, or in another similar role? Hop Skip Drive is looking for experienced caregivers who want to help students in their community by driving them to and from school. Earn up to $50 per ride with Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion, all while helping your community. If you have your own vehicle that is no more than 10 years old, a clean driving record, and at least 5 years of caregiving experience, you could become a Hop Skip Drive care driver. Just text KID to 323232 to get started right now. Hop Skip Drive gives you the flexibility to set your own schedule and earn competitive pay. It's simple. Drive in your free time and make a real difference for students right in your neighborhood. Don't wait. Text KID to 323232 right now. Text KID to 323232 and start earning up to $50 per ride during Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion period. That's KID to 323232. Text KID to 323232 now.
Imagine placing an investment or trade without fear. Knowing that big institutions have taken the same trade as you, pushing the price higher, which only they can do. You get to ride the wave of institutional demand. If not, your plan will protect you from the downside. This is how our students are taught to invest in trade. Right now, you can sign up for a free investing class where we'll outline our strategy for following the smart money. Text investing to 210-210. We'll also review strategies for growing a retirement portfolio, how professionals profit when stocks are falling, and how to protect your investments against inflation. With a 25-year history, local classrooms, and one-on-one support, you're not alone. And now it's your turn. Sign up for a free investing class today. Text investing to 210-210 or go to learnwithota.com.
The sun's out and the fun's out at Runnings this summer. The annual bucket sale is back, and you get 15% off everything you can fit inside, even sale-priced items. Remember, the bucket is free with a $5 purchase. The bucket sale happening at all Running stores Friday and Saturday, July 18th and 19th. Shop in-store and fill your bucket with items from all departments, including clothing, pets, sporting goods, lawn and garden, tools, and more. Get 15% off everything that fits in your bucket. Some exclusions apply. The bucket sale at Runnings, now with 90 locations. Go to runnings.com to find the store in your community.
Home title theft. It's on the rise, and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert, and that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH, video streaming live on YouTube and always, and I mean always, on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, DeRUSH Hour News Headlines continues with page 2. And we start in the Pioneer Press with a story that we've been covering all day here as well. And I just heard in the national CBS News canceling a tour because of climate change. This is so weird. So weird. Steve Miller Band has canceled their upcoming 31-date North American tour. Includes that August 28th stop at the Minnesota State Fair grandstand. On the band's website, they said, you make music with your instincts, you live your life by your instincts, always trust your instincts. Combination of extreme heat, unpredictable flooding, tornadoes, hurricanes, and massive forest fires make these risks for you, our audience, the band, and crew unacceptable. So strange.
Just dumb.
I mean,
we're being punished, Jason. We're being punished for natural disasters.
I'm not questioning the fact that severe weather is a severe issue, but if this is sort of the way we decide whether or not we're going to continue on with life, I guess we're done. Like, what? Nobody leave their house.
Not to mention, I think a lot of Minnesotans would actually love the idea of a natural disaster tearing apart the state fair.
Wow.
But that's not me. Hey, that's not me.
Wow.
I'm
How
pro-state
dare
fair.
you?
Yeah.
I guess the fair will find a new act or try to.
Should we do drive time at the fair?
The live version of this show. State fair officials learned this Wednesday evening. Variety notes this may be the first time an entire tour was canceled because of climate change. Yowzas. That story from Ross Rahala in the Pioneer Press. Edina Grill is closing after nearly 3 decades. It's news from owner Stephanie Schimpf this afternoon, as reported in Minnesota Monthly by their food critic, me. Edina Grill has been open since 1997 at 50th in France. The lease was up. Steph said that Blue Plate is not renewing it. RF Moeller wanted to expand. They're right there, right next door. And so Blue Plate decided we're going to close Edina Grill on September 18th. So plenty of notice for people to come and say goodbye. The team had already known. People who worked at Edina Grill knew that Blue Plate's lease was coming up and that they were going to close in the latter part of 2025. Stephanie Schimpf says they're going to, anybody who wants to get a job at another Blue Plate location, they'll try to make that happen. They say that they're still looking for other locations in Edina. A lot of restaurant groups, larger restaurant groups, have been looking to own property rather than rent, especially in the suburbs. And so there's that. Salute, another longtime 50th in France restaurant. Minneapolis St. Paul Business Journal reported this week that Salute, their lease is up and their landlord has listed the property. Do you want to make 6 figures? Of course you do. Of course you do. Get one of these jobs. Yeah.
Show me the money. I need to feel you, Jerry. Show me the money. Jerry, you better yell. Show me the money.
Show me the money. Well, I'm going to show it to you. Minneapolis St. Paul Business Journal reporting that there are more than 60 job categories that now pay $100,000 a year in the Twin Cities. Average wages here are up 50% from 2021 to 2024. How's that? I can hear everyone listening to this saying, what?
Doesn't add up.
So what are some of the categories? There are 3 career, and this is all Department of Labor news information. So it's all data for the federal government. Fashion designers. How many Twin Cities fashion designers? It's got to be a job category of more than 500 people employed at them at the Twin Cities. There are more than 500 fashion designers making $122,000 a year. Marine engineers and naval architects. Are these folks working remotely? How many marine engineers do we have? And sociologists.
Yeah.
3 of the career segments that broke. Oh, that's at the national. Okay. Like, what in the heck?
National level.
So among job titles with 500 or more employed in the Twin Cities, finance and business services had the biggest jumps. Personal financial advisors, securities and commodity sales agents. I suppose that's no surprise. Look what the stock market did post-COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. So all are well above $100,000. So I'm looking at the list in the Business Journal. Surgeons, top pay. So just go become a surgeon, Josh. It's that easy. $375,000 median pay. ER physician. So it's a lot of physician. Oh, chief executives, $265,000. Pretty good.
Not bad.
I would love to get a chief executive job. Dentist. I just found out yesterday my dentist is moving to Iowa. So, like,
it's a long trip for you.
For any dentists out there listening, I am now a free agent.
Yeah, you're on the market.
I'm a free agent. My dentist is moving. I go to this dental clinic. I go because the hygienist and she moved. And now my dentist is moving. So, dead to me.
Yeah.
If you're a dentist and you would like to clean my teeth, 651-461-9226, make me an offer. That is the DeRUSH Hour news headlines. Oh, I promised a story about Rosemount. I better deliver. How about I do it after the break? We've got some nonsense for you in the last half hour of the show, including some thoughts about the top places not to bring your mistress. This sounds like an old Letterman top 10 list. Top 10 places to not bring your mistress. It's been the top story on social media today. We'll talk about that as well next.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
You gave it your all out there. Morning News with Vanita crushed it. Adam and Jordana, you owned the viewpoint. And when Chad Hartman brought the heat, you stared it down like a champion. You didn't flinch during some stressful Twins games, then powered through CCO's How To Saturday without losing focus. That's not just stamina, that's WCCO spirit. That's Hall of Fame level listening.
Binge the broadcasts at News Talk 830 WCCO because champions are made one headline at a time.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or two half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-770-0850. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance to buy $1 million of affordable term life for you. All you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-770-0850. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-770-0850. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-770-0850. 800-770-0850.
At California Psychics, we know that sometimes you can wake up thinking,
I don't know if I'm in the right career. Ew. Or the right relationship.
But whatever your life dilemma, at California Psychics, we'll give you the guidance you need to feel certain about your life choices. And because we only connect you with the very best, we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to Certified Cyber Warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with the check of the commute.
94 eastbound at 280 in Marshall. They're on the brakes over there due to a fender bender. 94 east, about 11-minute delay, and westbound, you're about an 18-minute delay. 65 northbound between Mississippi Street and 68th Place, there's an accident being reported. 51 southbound between St. Anthony Avenue and 94, a crash over there. 694 eastbound at University and Central, crash being reported. They're just getting that one cleaned up. 94 eastbound at Lowry Avenue, traffic incident on the side over there. Highway 55 headed east at 54th and Crosstown. There's a car accident. 35W southbound at exit 36. That's in the center lane. There's an accident. That's traffic. I'm Darren Kmeyer on Newstalk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, weather is brought to you by Gutman Law. Gutman Law, wills, trust, and probate law. Good people. Good people. Here's Chris Schaefer.
Another chilly night tonight, not as cold as it was this morning. 57 will be the overnight low. Clouds will increase throughout the day. Scattered showers pop by evening time. 76 the high, close to that on Saturday. We should be dry, though. Mix of sun and clouds. Mix of sun and clouds on Sunday as well, creeping up to the low 80s.
Super sunny outside right now, 72. Beautiful night here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH Hour.
I will agree with you. I think he is incredibly talented. He really brings it all.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
We will talk about the worst place to bring your mistress or mister. But first, I want to give a Drive Time shout out to the Go Girl flag football team from Rosemount. Pioneer Press reporting on this awesome opportunity for this team where they're going to compete at the NFL Flag Football Championships in Canton, Ohio. It started today. It goes till Sunday. Rosemount is the representative from Minnesota. And what's cool is that Rosemount was part of a pilot program that the Vikings put on last year that featured a team from La Crescent, Pine Island, and Houston. And the program went so well that more than 50 teams competed in flag football championships this year. Matamidi beat La Crescent Hoka to win the state championship last month at TCO. So this sport is growing like crazy. They won the NFL, the regional tournament in Blaine on May 10th. So they get to compete in Canton, Ohio at the Football Hall of Fame field. Pretty cool. There will be coverage on ESPN. But how great for the coach there, Jeff Erdman, and who is a longtime Rosemount football coach. And now the girls flag football team gets to represent Minnesota on the national stage. Pretty fun. Okay. The story that is lighting up the internet today is the viral video of the number one place to not bring your mistress. Well, at least if you're going to bring your mistress to a Coldplay concert and you get caught on the Jumbotron, stay cool, man. You know what I mean? Like if you get busted having an affair, this guy has no one to blame but himself, because what a doofus. Now, here's the video that has more than, I don't know how many million views this thing has on TikTok, but then it's been excerpted all over the place. It's lunacy. We love other people's messiness. This has 35 million views. All right, I'm going to play it. You want to hear a little of the noise? Because Chris Martin, the lead singer of Coldplay, says exactly the right thing. Well, look at these. She looks horrified. He just dips down out of camera. Oh, boy. Either they're having an affair or she's very shy. Well, that video then ends up all over the place. One tweet, the internet found out he's married and she knows. Imagine being caught having an affair by Coldplay. I mean, so people who are having an affair, first of all, don't have an affair, right? Like, I don't know. If you're out of love with someone, break up with them. Second, why do people think that a good place to go with your illicit lover is a sporting event or a concert?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know the odds of ending up on the Jumbotron, low. Most of us go our whole life without ending up on, I should say most of you. Naturally, I've been on the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
Many,
We
many
know.
times.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
You know, there was a big scandal here in the Twin Cities that, in fact, cost one of the top executives of the Timberwolves his job here because he was busted at a soccer match here in town.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he and the woman he was busted with are now married. So there is a behavior, though, that I don't like that comes out of this, and I'm sort of curious what you guys think. Now, also other bad places to go with your mistress, 651-461-9226. What are the worst places to be caught with a mistress? Benjamin on YouTube says, imagine being caught at a Coldplay concert. Yikes. Was Weird Al sold out? Now, being busted by the internet as sharing an embrace with your lover at a Weird Al show would be embarrassing. If you brought your mistress to a Wiggles show, yep, that would be embarrassing. That's fair. Josh, worst place to bring your mistress if you were cheating with someone, where would be a terrible place, you think?
US Bank Stadium.
US Bank Stadium.
Because anybody that's been in there, and Chad talks about this all the time, it is a sardine can once you get in there and you are around a lot of people and you never know who you might run into.
Yeah.
The higher the number, the better chance you're going to, especially at a Vikings game, you're going to probably possibly see somebody you know. And then word of mouth and whatnot. Plus, they do a lot of fan interaction on their video board.
True.
So,
still though, like a Vikings game, you have what, 65,000 people there. Your odds of being on the Jumbotron are pretty low.
Yeah.
Odds of running into someone you know, decent. It depends, I guess.
State Fair.
State Fair.
No, I mean,
Texter says your wife's job. Yeah, your wife's job would be a bad.
Yeah.
A family function, says another texter. Yes. Not ideal.
No.
So I don't want to give the cheaters out there a how-to, but let me give you a couple of tips on if you should get caught on a Jumbotron. Now, this dude, and it turns out this dude is the CEO of this. I mean, the internet is brutal. So this guy is the CEO of some big time tech company. It's called, so like the internet does its thing. They're like, oh, this sure looks like this person, you know? And then they're like, oh, and who knows? This is what online people say. But they're claiming it's the CEO of this company called Astronomer and his chief people officer. HR person.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, HR, what the hell are you doing if you're HR having an affair with the CEO? Like, isn't that just straight in the HR? Carlos Camejo on YouTube says church would be an awkward one. Yeah, church would not be a great place to bring your mistress, especially with that whole thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife and all of that. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Another texter on the church bit. So this guy's like the CEO of a company, right? And so the internet finds this dude's wife and blows up her Facebook page. Like, your man's cheating on you. Come and get your man. Come and get your man. And I do think that that is absolutely trash behavior. And I know people are going to be people, and the modern age is the modern age. But if your instinct is to go someone has just blown up their marriage, and perhaps two people have blown up their marriages, but to go to the spouses, you want drama. You don't want to get in there because you want her to know. You want drama. You want to enjoy the main character, to ha, 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 ha. But like, this is a person, and you can do whatever you want to this guy. Although I would say you never know quite what's going on in somebody's marriage.
Correct.
You don't know if he has a green light or whatever. And based on his behavior on the webcam where I don't think he had the green light. But like, come on.
And you could tell when you watch the video, the girl next to them, she has all the tea. She has all the information.
Yeah. So I don't think that is.
Yeah.
I don't think that's cool. I do not appreciate that. How about running into your spouse with her lover? Now then you got something. Then you got something. I do think like people should be a little more thoughtful about this. And I get it, but part of me feels a little skeezy about it though, right? Where you're like, and I admit, like, did I click on every video of this today? Yes. So am I the problem? Also, yes. And I can tell you guys that I think you should not post on the wife's page. It's 5:50. We'll take a break. Drive Time coming back in just a minute here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
This July, By the Yard is serving up their biggest deals of the summer. Each deal is announced on Thursday and runs just 5 days. It's buy one, get one 30% off popular furniture pieces. These will be some amazing deals. You can sign up for their e-newsletter or check bytheyard.net each week to see what's next. If you've been thinking about upgrading, now is the time. With By the Yard, life is better outdoors.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
When you're in pain, you need the Good Feet store. Do not waste another minute suffering from foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call for the Good Feet store for your no-obligation custom fitting. You will immediately feel the difference.
I walked right into the Good Feet store and I tried the Good Feet Arch Support System, and my hip pain is gone, went away.
The Good Feet Arch Support System are designed to put your foot in the most ideal position, redistributing the body weight more evenly, helping to relieve pain and stress in the body.
That nagging pain in my lower back, gone instantly thanks to the Good Feet supports.
Good Feet store has over 350 styles and sizes to relieve your pain. Call for your personal fitting.
And I have never had a problem since. I can walk in heels again, and it's great.
Call 855-554-3338. Step into pain relief.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy. And from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
I'm Bobby Finger.
And I'm Lindsay Weber. Our podcast, Who Weekly, is everything you need to know about the celebrities you don't. Think of us as your cheat code to People Magazine, your glossary for Hollywood, a shortcut to understanding pop culture at large.
For the past 8 years, Who Weekly has been telling listeners everything they need to know about the celebrities they don't.
Who Weekly airs twice weekly with brand new episodes on Tuesdays and Fridays. Listen and follow Who Weekly, an Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things are crawling on Highway 5 eastbound between Eden Prairie Road and Fuller in Eden Prairie from a car accident. 35W northbound and southbound on the brakes around 38th. That's rush hour, but it's extra slow. Highway 55 headed east between 54th and 62. 2 cars on the side of the road waiting on a tow. Crash on 94 eastbound between 280 and Marshall Avenue. Headed west on 94 over the river near 95 and Manning Avenue. 2 cars ran together, backing things up. Highway 169 southbound at Excelsior Boulevard and Interlochen Road. Fender bender causing delays. Things are happening all over. That's traffic. I'm Darren Kmeyer on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Call the pros, Advantage Home Pros. With the highest quality workmanship and materials, seamless gutter installation, cleaning, and covers, our trained, knowledgeable local pros can handle it all. Trust the pros. AdvantageHomePros.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Weather brought to you by Advantage Home Pros. Man, it's nice tonight. A little chilly. I mean, top 10 weather day. What a joke. It's like 10 degrees below the average. So stupid. What has happened to my former home? Channel 4 has lost it. Low of 57 tonight. Great weather for the Maple Grove Days Parade, which for the 23rd year that I've lived in Maple Grove, I will not be the Grand Marshal of. Tonight, tomorrow in Crete. Why are you clapping for that? That's outrageous.
You're above that, Jason. You're above that.
I most certainly am not. Tomorrow, 76 is the high. Right now, it's 72.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH Hour. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
You guys do not understand comedy. We do not need to have like a social reckoning every day after every comedian. Last night, the ESPYs, which the highlight for the ESPYs for me was the woman who gave Ovechkin his award.
Yes.
What is it? This woman's name? Do you know? It's like, I don't know. Play me a joke from, do we have time?
Yes.
Play me a joke from Shane Gillis. Here we go.
All right.
It was fine. I didn't write it. Actually, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke here, but as it got deleted. Must have probably deleted itself, right? Probably never existed, actually. Let's move on as a country and ignore that.
That's good. No one's offended by the Epstein joke.
I have another one, too, if you want to.
All right, one more. Give me one more.
All right.
Rogan actually wanted me to be here to host this award show so that I could capture Adam Silver because Joe thinks he's an alien. And Donald Trump wanted me to be here to capture Juan Soto for the same reason. It's an alien joke. Wait, who booed up there, dude? Shut up.
Tough. You know what? Like,
let's relax.
All the jokes aren't going to land. We don't need like a think piece about everyone. We don't need like your tweet about how like people were mad that he was making like sort of lame WNBA. Nobody cares about the WNBA jokes. You know what comedians do sometimes? Some of the jokes are lame. Yeah. It's all right. Like you don't need to make a social commentary.
I saw a bunch. Not a lot of them landed. There were some that did. It's fine. It's part of the bit.
Brooks Nader. Brooks Nader was the, just Google her. Actually, that sounded really wrong. That's not. I just meant if
Previous
you wanted
segment,
to know,
we talked about worst places.
If you wanted
Yeah,
to know
yeah.
who it was, you could go to Google.
Just Google there.
Golly, well, we've ended on really a high note, as always. I'm off to heckle at the Maple Grove Days Parade. That's what I'm going to do tonight. Just boo Actually, 2 firefighters are the Grand Marshal, so I will not be booing. Henry Lake is back, everybody. Enjoy.
Stealing Meats of Piers is where tradition meets taste.